Today we are going to discuss new topic or new chapter, that is antidiuretic drugs. Antidiuretic drugs are those drugs means it will totally opposite to diuretic. Diuretic normally increases the rate of formation of urine or rate of excretion as well. These drugs normally inhibit the urine volume, decreasing the urine volume by inhibiting the excretion of water without affecting salt excretion. It inhibits the water excretion, but it doesn't affect your salt excretion. Salt excretion doesn't affect it. So, the antidiuretic drug classified into broadly three categories. First one is antidiuretic hormone and its analog. Second one is natriuretic, or third one is miscellaneous. So, example of the antidiuretic hormone and its analog is vasopressin is there, desmopressin is there, lamopressin is there, or terlipressin is there. Natriuretic example of natriuretic thiazide, amiloride. Example of miscellaneous drugs are carbamazepine, chlorpropamide, indomethacin. These are the drugs having the antidiuretic agent. Mainly means these the reduces the urine volume. How exactly we will discuss this mechanism of action or different action of these drugs. So let me discuss one by one. First category, that is antidiuretic hormone or antidiuretic hormone its analog. So first one is vasopressin. First antidiuretic drug, that is vasopressin. Vasopressin chemical we can call as the antidiuretic hormone. This drug actually normally releases from the posterior part of your pituitary gland. In your posterior part of your pituitary gland is responsible for the release of this hormone along with oxytocin. Normally we can chemically of this drug, chemical name of this drug is 8-arginine vasopressin. You can call as the 8-arginine vasopressin. Actually, these hormone normally synthesized in your hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is responsible for the synthesis of this vasopressin. Supraoptic nucleus. This supraoptic nucleus is responsible for the synthesis of vasopressin. It is synthesized in supraoptic nucleus and it is stored in posterior part of pituitary gland. See, normally what will happen in your hypothalamus, osmoreceptor is there. Let me discuss this regulation and release, how it will be regulated or releases in your body. So vasopressin, I have already discussed that vasopressin is synthesized in your hypothalamus, in which part? Normally supraoptic nucleus. This nucleus is responsible for the synthesis of vasopressin. Here the synthesis takes place and it is stored in your posterior part of your pituitary gland. Posterior part of your pituitary gland is responsible for the release of antidiuretic hormone. Exactly what time this hormone is released is actually osmoreceptor or volume receptor is present in your body. Osmoreceptor or volume receptor, these two receptors are responsible for the release of vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone. How exactly? When your osmosis is increases, when your nutrient is increasing. Normally what will happen? In hypothalamus, osmoreceptor is there, and in left part of left arterium, left arterium and ventricular and pulmonary veins. These are the area where volume receptor is there. So whenever the volume is affected, volume is decreases or osmolarity is increases. When volume is decreases, so it will be sense of your volume receptor or it will be sense of your osmoreceptor. This receptor signal goes to your central nervous and hypothalamus gives signal to your stimulate your posterior part of your pituitary gland, and then your oxytocin along with antidiuretic hormone is released. Now these antidiuretic hormones mainly work on your principal cell of your kidney, principal cells of your collecting duct, which will be responsible for the more reabsorption water. This hormone, what it will be do? After the releasing of this hormone, it will work on your kidney or it will be responsible for more reabsorption of water. Or reabsorption is increases by the simply antidiuretic hormone, or we can call as a vasopressin. Okay, now let me discuss some drug or some neurotransmitter drug or hormone which will be affecting the release of vasopressin. Normally, most of the drug, most of the neurotransmitter, most of the other things which will affect the release of maybe release increase or decrease. So let me discuss first thing, which hormone or drug normally increases which hormone increases the vasopressin release. So normally angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 is this 2 when the concentration concentration of angiotensin 2 is increases, it also increases the release of ADH hormone. Prostaglandins. Prostaglandin also enhances the release of vasopressin. Histamine, neuropeptide or acetylcholine. These are the hormones. They normally increasing the release of vasopressin, increasing the release of antidiuretic hormone. Now next one is make some hormones also suppress the release of hormones. So which hormone normally suppresses the release of vasopressin? GABA. GABA is there which will suppress the release of vasopressin. Arterial natriuretic peptide is also there which also suppressing the release of vasopressin. Actually morphine or opioid in low concentration, low dose morphine decrease, morphine normally inhibit the release of ADH, but high dose of morphine, if you are giving the high dose of morphine, it also increases the release of vasopressin. So these are some factors, these are some points which is controlling the release of vasopressin. We discussed exactly how releases takes place normally as already. We already discussed the vasopressin synthesis takes place in supraoptic nucleus and release responsible for the posterior part of pituitary gland. Okay, now let me discuss this mechanism of action or some pharmacological actions. Related to receptor of vasopressin or receptor of antidiuretic hormone. Normally two types. These vasopressin bind with V1 and V2 receptor. Two types of receptor present in your body, V1 or V2. V1 is further divided as a V1A and V1B. V1A or V1B. Okay. Now V1A. First we will discuss where the V1A is present. V1A is normally present in vascular smooth muscle. It is also present in uterine, present on your interstitial cell, it present in your adipose tissue, it also present in your brain, platelet, and liver. These are the some area where V1A receptor is present. Where once vasopressin is released, it will bind with V1 or V2 receptor. Okay, so V1 is further divided as a V1A or V1B. These are the locations of V1A. V1A is present on your vascular smooth muscle, uterine. These are the some exact location of V1A receptor. Okay. Now let us discuss what exactly changes takes place if vasopressin is bind with V1 receptor. Okay. अगर भी vasopressin का release हो रहा है, vasopressin V1 receptor से bind हो रहा है, so what are the changes takes place in your body? So vasopressin receptor is normally it is G coupled protein. It is coupled with G protein coupled receptor. Okay, so it will work like G coupled protein receptor. See, once suppose vasopressin is released in your body, it will bind vasopressin receptor. Okay, once it will bind with vasopressin receptor, so its receptor consists of alpha, beta, gamma subunit. Okay, so normally what will happen? Suppose vasopressin, this is your vasopressin is bind with vasopressin receptor, so it will activate receptor. After the activation of receptor, alpha subunit having the GDP molecule, it loses GDP molecule or acquire GTP. वो जैसे ही आपका ड्रग रिसेप्टर से बाइंड होगा V1 रिसेप्टर से, तो जो उसका अल्फा सब यूनिट है, अल्फा सब यूनिट क्या करता है? इट विल लूजेस देयर GDP मॉलिक्यूल एंड एक्वायर GTP, higher energy. See, once higher energy is attained, when higher energy is there, this higher energy activate your phospholipase C pathway. It activate phospholipase C. After the activation of phospholipase C, what it will do? It simply break down your cell membrane. Phospholipase C, what it will do? Simply it will break down your cell membrane, and cell membrane consists of phosphorilycytol diphosphate. It will break down into two things, that is IP3 and di. Okay. Simply once vasopressin is bind with the receptor, activate their receptor, their internal subunit is activation of their internal subunit. Suppose alpha subunit loses their GTP molecule and acquire GTP. This is the higher energy. This higher energy activates simply your phospholipase C pathway. Phospholipase, after the activation of phospholipase C, it will break down your cell membrane. Once your cell membrane consists of phosphorilycytol diphosphate will break down into IP3 and di. Now this IP3 normally operate your calcium channel. Actually, what it will do, simply it will operate your calcium channel. So in your endoplasmic reticulum, more calcium channel is the opening of more calcium channel, and more calcium is coming out in your cytosol. Or simply IP3, what it will do, simply it will operate calcium channel. So it will open the calcium channel. So more and more calcium coming out in your cytosol. This calcium will bind with calmodulin. Calcium calmodulin complex is there, or this calcium calmodulin complex activate KM kinase, and this KM kinase will be responsible for phosphorylation of relevant protein. Okay, so if this phosphorylation is there, so what will happen? Release of calcium controlling various activities. So after phosphorylation of relevant protein, what will happen? Vasoconstriction is there. Once phosphorylation is there, or once release of calcium is there, release of calcium controlling various activity. For example, it controlling the vasoconstriction, it will be responsible for the visceral smooth muscle contraction, and also responsible for the glycogenolysis, platelet aggregation, ACTH release. These are the some action which is done by V1 receptor. Suppose vasopressin is releases, or it will bind with vasopressin receptor. So these action is there. आपकी बॉडी में ये सारी एक्शंस होती है, ये पर्टिकुलरली V1 रिसेप्टर के थ्रू होती है. सेकंड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, DAG activate protein kinase C pathway, and it will be responsible for phosphorylation of other proteins. Okay, so additional action of vasopressin or through the V1 receptor, it will activate phospholipase A2. It activates phospholipase A2 pathway. It also responsible for the release of arachidonic acid, and this which result in the synthesis of prostaglandin. Arachidonic acid का रिलीज होने की वजह से क्या होता है? प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन का सिंथेसिस होता है. So these are the some action of vasopressin through V1 receptor. Let me discuss what are the action of vasopressin through V2 receptor. V2 receptor mainly present on the principal cell of your collecting duct. How it is responsible for the water permeability. In the presence of vasopressin, more reabsorption of water, or in the absence of vasopressin, less reabsorption or no reabsorption of water. See, normally what will happen? These vasopressin V2 receptor is present on collecting principal cell of collecting ducts. So these, if the vasopressin bind with the receptor, so it will be responsible for the more enhancing or generation of CMP level. It increases the CMP level in your body, which lead to permeability of water. जैसे CMP लेवल बढ़ता है तो permeability of water is affected, और more absorption of water is there. It also, V2 receptor is also present on thick part of ascending loop of Henle. Thick part of ascending loop of Henle, where one type of transporter is there. Transporter is there. The name of transporter sodium potassium to chloride triangle. So it activates this transporter, so more reabsorption of these things. Okay, so these are the some action through the V2 receptor. Now let me discuss what are the exact mechanism of vasopressin. What are the mechanism of action of vasopressin? How exactly the absorption is takes place? कि normally हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि vasopressin की वजह से वाटर का absorption ज़्यादा होता है. तो exactly कैसे होता है, उसका mechanism of action हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे. As we already aware, vasopressin receptor is G-coupled protein receptor. Okay, so once your vasopressin is released, vasopressin receptor is mainly present on your kidney, principal cell of collecting duct, or various part of your body. Suppose this is your principal part of your collecting duct. So on the surface of this thing, the vasopressin receptor is there. Vasopressin is bind with vasopressin receptor. So activation of receptor is there. Their internal subunit is activated. So internal subunit alpha, beta, gamma is there. So alpha receptor, alpha subunit consists of GDP molecule. Once your vasopressin is bind with their receptor, so it will activate internal subunit, and that internal subunit, alpha subunit, loses GDP molecule or acquiring GDP. This higher energy level will activate your adenyl cyclase pathway, activate your adenyl cyclase. After the activation of adenyl cyclase, what will happen? This adenyl cyclase break down your ATP into CMP level. So due to adenyl cyclase, more CMP level is increased in your body. CMP concentration of CMP is increases. So due to increase of CMP level, protein kinase, CMP dependent protein kinase A is activated. Simply what will happen? this vasopressin bind to the receptor alpha subunit loses GTP molecule requiring GTP. This higher energy activate adenylyl cyclase pathway. This adenylyl cyclase pathway break down your ATP into CMP level. So concentration or level of CMP level is enhances or increase in your body, which lead to activation of protein kinase A, and this protein kinase A is responsible for the phosphorylation of relevant protein. See, due to phosphorylation of relevant protein, what will happen? It will promote the exocytosis of aquaporin 2. What it will do? Phosphorylation of relevant protein, which enhances or promote the exocytosis protein. Which exocytosis? Exocytosis of aquaporin 2. What is aquaporin 2? Aquaporin 2 is a water containing vesicle. So water channel containing vesicle. These are the vesicles which contain the water channels. So what will happen if exocytosis is there? So due to exocytosis, what will happen? This water channel get inserted on the surface of membrane. Simply what will happen? When exocytosis is there, when fusion of tube protein is there, so what will happen? Due to fusion of tube protein, these channel, whatever the water channel, it get inserted on the surface of lumen, on the surface of principal cell of collector, or due to this thing, what will happen? More and more reabsorption of water. Got it? Simply exocytosis process promote the insertion of your water channel on the surface. So due to more water channel is increases on the principal cell of collecting drug, so more of water reabsorption is there. So this again, in this way we can explain the mechanism of action of vasopressin. What is the action of vasopressin? Action on your blood vessel. What are the action of? We already discussed action of vasopressin on kidney or mechanism of action. Kidney पे vasopressin का action हमने discuss किया. Now next pharmacology action of vasopressin, action on blood vessels. Blood vessels की क्या action होती है? Normally vasopressin increases the peripheral resistance. Vasopressin enhancing the peripheral resistance, but at lower dose, whatever due to reflex action, your cardiac output is restored. Due to reflex action, cardiac output is restored. But when we are giving high dose of vasopressin, it increasing your blood pressure. Okay, low dose of vasopressin normally increases the peripheral resistance, but when due to reflex action, cardiac output is restored. But when we are doing higher dose, जब हम लोग ज़्यादा डोज देते हैं तो higher dose पे क्या होता है? We have blood pressure increasing. Other action of vasopressin, actually next is other action of vasopressin. It will be responsible for visceral smooth muscle contraction. It will contract of your visceral smooth muscle. It also increasing the peristalsis movement in your gut. Gut की peristalsis movement increase करता है. What will happen if peristalsis movement of gut is increased, which lead to evacuation of bowel or expansion of gas. Expulsion of gas. Gas evacuation करता है और आपका bowel movement, evacuation of your bowel. So these are the some other action of vasopressin. Next one, action on uterus. What are the action of vasopressin on uterus? Next pharmacology action on your uterus. Normally, it will be responsible contraction of uterus. It will be responsible for contraction of uterus. How contraction is there? It will work on oxytocin receptor. Vasopressin is bind with oxytocin receptor. That's why it will be responsible for contraction of uterus. But in non-pregnant women, uterus is get contracted. Next one, action on your central nervous system. If you are giving exogenous, अगर आप vasopressin को exogenous route से देते हो, so it could not cross your blood-brain barrier. That's why we can get it recognized as a peptide neurotransmitter in your brain or spinal cord. It will act as a peptide neurotransmitter in brain or spinal cord. Okay. So it has a certain action in your central nervous system. It will be responsible for regulation of body temperature. Vasopressin responsible for regulation of body temperature. It will be responsible for systemic circulation. It will be responsible for the ACTH release, or also helpful in the learning task. And so play important role in the learning task. So these are the action of vasopressin in your central nervous system. Vasopressin also induces platelet aggregation. It also responsible for hepatic glycogenolysis, or also responsible for the release of coagulation factor 8. So these are some other actions of vasopressin in your central nervous system.